Arav lived in a village nestled at the foot of a grand mountain range. The peaks loomed large, casting long shadows over the simple homes. The villagers spoke of the mountains with respect, tinged with fear. They warned of treacherous paths and unpredictable weather. Arav, however, felt a pull towards the towering giants. He would spend hours gazing upwards, his young eyes filled with wonder. The mountains represented something unknown, something he yearned to explore. Their silence held a strange allure, beckoning him closer. The villagers noticed Arav's fascination. They shook their heads, cautioning him about the dangers. The mountains are not to be trifled with, they'd say. Many have tried and failed, some never to return. But their words only fueled the fire in Arav's heart. He knew there was more to life than the safety and predictability of the village. As Arav grew older, the whispers in his heart grew stronger. What if I tried? They urged. What if I climbed just a little higher? He began to train in secret. He ran through the foothills, strengthening his legs. He practiced climbing on smaller rock formations, honing his balance and agility. He saved every rupee he earned, slowly accumulating the necessary gear-sturdy boots, a thick rope, a warm coat. The villagers noticed his preparations, their concern growing. They pleaded with him to reconsider, to choose safety over ambition. But Arav wouldn't be deterred. He had heard the call of the mountain and he was determined to answer. His resolve was tested time and again. Blisters formed on his feet, forcing him to rest. A sudden storm ripped his tent, leaving him exposed to the elements. And always, there were the whispers of doubt from the village, echoing in his ears. But through it all, Arav held on to the question that drove him: what if? Finally, the day arrived. Arav stood at the foot of the mountain, his backpack heavy with supplies and determination. He took a deep breath and began his ascent. The climb was arduous. The path was treacherous, often disappearing beneath loose rocks and snowdrifts. The air grew thinner with each step, making it hard to breathe. There were moments when Arav wanted to give up. His muscles screamed in protest. The biting wind threatened to tear him from the mountainside. But then he would remember why he started. He thought of the villagers who doubted him, and he thought of the whisper within that urged him onward. Days turned into weeks. Arav's body grew lean and strong. His spirit, however, grew even stronger. He learned to read the mountain, to anticipate its moods. He learned to trust his instincts, to rely on his own strength and resilience. And slowly, steadily, he climbed higher. And then, one clear morning, Arav stood on the summit. He had done it. He had conquered the mountain. But as he looked out over the world, a strange feeling washed over him. It wasn't the exhilaration he expected. It wasn't the sense of triumph. It was something far more profound. He realized that the real mountain wasn't the one beneath his feet. It was the one he had carried within himself all along. The mountain of doubt, of fear, of limitation. And in climbing the physical mountain, he had conquered the mountain within. He had proven to himself that he was capable of more than he ever thought possible. Arav's journey became a legend in the village, but Arav knew that his story wasn't just about climbing a mountain, it was a story about the mountains we all carry within us. It was a reminder that the greatest journeys are often inward, and that the most important summits are the ones we reach within our own hearts.